Alright guys, so this is a fanfiction idea I've been wanting to do for a while, and I thought it would be kind of fun to finally get around to do it. And as you can see, this is Tenchi Muyo, the Washu War. So, you might have an inkling of what this story's about, but other than that, let's get into it. So the story actually begins with just a normal day at the Masaki home. The girl, Ayeka and Ryoko are fighting over Tenchi's attention, Washu's being alone in her lab, and Mihoshi and Kione are just kind of like, they're just hanging out, and Sasami's just playing with Ryoki. However, cycling back to Washu, she's in her lab, and she's just kind of working away, when suddenly she feels like this disturbance. She feels like this disturbance. Now, the reason why she feels this said disturbance in the universe, it's not like with the Force, where it's like, I feel a disturbance in the Force. It's more like remember, Washu's a living goddess. So, she can literally detect a moment. Like, she can detect a moment where, like, she's a goddess, so she can detect when something's wrong in the universe. And she has, like, that, like a Vader moment. She's like, I sense a presence. One I have not felt since... Oh, shit. So, Washu, like, senses this presence, and this presence is on its way. So, it's not coming from the universe, or rather, this universe, it's coming from another universe. So, Washu immediately, like, calls together everyone. She's like, all of you, get inside, stop your dumb, stupid, your dumb, stupid love quarrels. Get in my lab right now, we got shit to do. So they're like, oh, what's going on? What's going on? Get it? Just get in my lab right now. We'll be safe. So Washu basically, like, it doesn't tell anyone. And Tenchi's just like, oh, what are you trying to do, Washu? Is this, what's going on? And be like, you don't understand. Something really bad is coming here. And they're like, well, what's coming here? And sure enough, this huge, massive spacecraft just busts through, busts into the atmosphere and is just hanging over the Masaki house. And yeah, it stays in motion, and not motion, but it stays in orbit over the the Masaki home. And everyone's just like, oh, what is that? Washu, do you know who that is? And she goes, it's the only person who could ever scare me. And they're like, who's that? Me. So sure enough, the ship, like, sends a little beam down. And who comes beaming down but another Washu? And this Washu is... yeah, she looked like, as Washu keeps herself as a child, this Washu keeps in her adult form. Her hair's, like, cut short. She has more like a military uniform, but more like this regal kind of uniform. And she also has, like, you can clearly see in her eyes, there's something, like, colder and more, like, devastating in like, there's just evil in those eyes. So so Washu quickly explains that, like, it's the only person who could ever scare me. Me. And they're like, that's another Washu? Is that a clone or something? And she goes, no, you sweet summer children. That is another variant of me. And they're like, variant? And Washu goes, okay, so, crash course. That's another variant of me. I'm gonna go try to fight her because she's pretty bad. And they're like, define how bad. You're pretty bad. And he's like, you think I'm bad? You ain't seen her. So Washu goes to confront her, goes into her full, like, adult goddess form to, like, confront her, this other Washu. And the other Washu's just got, like, her hands behind her back, like, I figured you'd be here. I've been hunting you through several universes. I figured you'd run here. But I have to say, this would be the last universe I expect you in. And Washu's just like, you go. You're not supposed to be here anymore. Like, you were defeated. You shouldn't even you shouldn't exist anymore. And she goes, yeah, but I found my way out. I am, who do you think we're talking to here? It's us. So Washu's like, you can't be here. I will stop you. And she goes, really? Do you know how many other versions of us have said that to me already? I lost count after 100. So the two Washus do battle, and the rest of the Misaki house is just like in awe because they're actually seeing like Washu actually fight someone rather than just use her brains. But the thing is, as intelligent as as Washu is, this new Washu is just as clever. So they're outsmarting one another. They're basically like whatever Washu throws at this new Washu, she can counter it. And eventually, like, Ryoko jumps in because it's like, holy shit, my mom's getting her ass kicked, I gotta do something. So before anyone can stop anything, Ryoko comes flying in, punches this new Washu, and that Washu is just like, I was wondering when your Ryoko was going to show up. Allow me to introduce my daughter, or rather, daughters. So the ship opens up again, and hundreds of Ryokos just come flying out. And the evil Washu explains that she had a Ryoko once, but it was too independent and loved Tenchi, so she had to kill it. She had to kill her Ryoko, take the DNA, and make a new army of clones. They're not as powerful as the original Ryoko, but what they make up for lack of power, they make up in numbers. So these Ryoko clones just start swarming Ryoko till they beat her down. Tenchi has to jump in, and Washu has to like grab everyone and hightail it out of there. So the conqueror Washu is like, you can run wherever, I'm going to find you. So by this point, after Ryoko's gotten her ass kicked, Tenchi's just demanding, who the hell was that, Washu? You're clearly not giving us the whole detail. So Washu explains, guys, you know about the multiverse, right? And they're like, oh god, it's a multiverse thing, isn't it? And they're like, yeah. And Washu's like, yeah. Basically, Washu explains that, of course, I'm the smartest being in the universe. That would mean I'm the smartest being in every universe. So, ergo, I would eventually, one version of myself would figure out multiversal travel and start visiting the other versions of me. Eventually, we got smart enough to start visiting each other's universes. But here's the problem. Not all of us were good. I don't think any of us are good, really. And that's when we all some of us got into a great big war that tore the multiverse apart. You know how many universes were killed in our war? Until eventually we all broke bread and made we made a parliament. We made we made the Parliament of Washus. And essentially we made peace. And, put our minds to bettering the multiverse. Except one. That one. And that Washu, instead of being, a scientist or living her life as a goddess or anything, she decided to be a conqueror. So that Washu has traveled through all of the multiverse, through hypertime itself, to conquer the multiverse. And I did battle with her. I fought that Washu and thought I trapped her outside of time. But now she's gotten back in. I knew it was only a matter of time because we're goddesses. We'd eventually figure out how to, break out of a universe, break into the multiverse somehow. So I knew it was only a matter of time, and she'd come back to this Earth. And they're like, well, why did she come to this Earth? And she goes, it's because your Earth is her Earth. I'm not the Washu from this universe. So it's like a dun 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 moment where they're like, wait. There was a Ryoko. She said there was a Ryoko from that was here before, and a Tenchi that was here before. Like, what happened to them? Basically, that Washu destroyed the Earth and her whole universe because she didn't like it and just reset it. Like, she reset the universe, and that's how our Washu found her from that universe. Our Washu is actually a survivor from another universe that the Washu the Conqueror destroyed. So she tracked him down, and Washu, seeing over the new Earth, took on the role of the Washu that was supposed to be here and created Ryoko. That's our Ryoko and all of that. Meanwhile, that Washu was trapped outside of time. She's broken in, and now she's restarting her conquest of the multiverse. So they're like, well, what do we do now? How do we stop her? So Washu's just like, there's only one thing we can do. We got to go talk to the Parliament of Washus. Washu takes the other ones takes all of them and takes them to the Parliament of Washus, which is an interdimensional like palace of different Washus and their variants. And there's also like, I want to have like if this could actually be animated or made into a comic, I'd love to have like a fun moment where like there's like a drunk Washu just drinking, and there's like a Tenchi in a yellow shirt, like, oh geez, Washu, you drink so much. Shut up! I need to drink. It helps me think. Oh, Tenchi. Wubba lubba dub dub. I had to do a Rick and Morty reference. Obviously, I was going to bring up, but yeah. So Washu goes there, and she goes before the Parliament of Washus and is like, hey, the Washu from the Earth I took over, or the Earth I kind of moved into, is here. We gotta stop her. And they're like, yeah, about that. We already, like, signed an armistice, because we can't fight her. We've seen how powerful she's become. She wasn't lying about conquering killing universes before she got back to yours. She killed over 300 universes before she got back to you. So we brokered a peace with her, and our universes for yours. And sure enough, that's when the Ryoko clones start showing up. And I kind of imagine, cycling back to them real quick, I kind of imagine the Ryoko clones as they look like Ryoko, but instead of like the traditional clothes she has, it's more like these black suits with like insignias on them, just all black, like these black suits, and some of them carrying guns, like some of them carrying blasters. So the Ryoko clones come barging in, and the Washu the Conqueror comes in, and she's just like, I kind of figured you'd come here, great minds think alike. And Washu's just like, damn it. So Tenchi and the others are taken away, and Washu is brought before the Conqueror to be executed for a multiversal exhibition of her execution. Meanwhile, so everyone's chained up, and they also are like, take their Ryoko and experiment her. Maybe I can use something from this Ryoko I was supposed to have. But yeah, so Tenchi has to. Tenchi's like trying to figure out what to do, how to break out of there, and Ayeka is just like, how do we stop someone who literally reset our universe? Like, how do you stop someone who can reset the universe? And Mihoshi's just like, maybe we reset it again? And they're like, what? Yeah, maybe we can just reset the universe again and delete her out of it and make our Washu the main Washu. And they're like, holy shit, Mihoshi, did you just have a good idea? I don't know, did I? We'll go with, so they have to like break out of prison, break out of their prison, fight their way through various variants of themselves. Try saying that 5 times fast. They break out, they go, and they basically get to the Washu the Conqueror's ship and find a machine that she was using to reset universes. And while Washu's about to be executed by the evil variant, Tenchi resets the universe again, but since it was at the heart of the multiverse, it basically just resets everything. They were safe. They were safe because they're the ones who were in the middle of the blast. But everyone else was caught in the middle of it. Ryoko managed to save her Washu, and the Washu the Conqueror was erased. Even the rest of the Parliament was erased. So now there's only one Washu, our Washu. So by the end of it, Washu was just like, you know, I always had, like, there was one thing I had over those other idiots. And they're like, what? Us? A family? And then she's like, no, good looks. Fuck all of you. Anyway. So there you go, guys. That is pretty much the Tenchi Muyo, the Washu War. You guys tell me in the comments below, what did you guys think of it? Comment below, let me know. Other than that, hope you all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.